Ulysses Butch Slaughter here. Welcome to Building Community with the Chester Housing Authority. I am joined by several brothers that I've come to know pretty well over the last years, and one of them would be Executive Director of the Housing Authority, Steve Fischer. Steve, thank you as always for joining us here at Building Community.
When we last gathered a group of fathers, it was a few weeks ago, and we didn't really talk about what we had originally intended to because COVID-19 had just hit. So most of the conversation revolved around that, and it was substantive and useful, I think, to all. And here we go again. We got another situation on our hands in this country. So I suspect we will not steer clear of that and address what is going on because it's so important.
All right, so I'm going to go straight to one of the newest participants in this, the guy who's been doing fatherhood stuff since he was a father, and that would be Joe Austin. Joe, thank you for joining us, man. Give us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hey, my name is Joel Austin. I run Data University. I co-founded and started the company. We're about 16 years old now. We're a male parent education company. It started out small, and now we do everything from mentoring, mediation, help with court, advocacy, education. Our website is built around education, and now we also have a postpartum doula program to help our new dads. We run a Fathers Club, which is a 6-year-old educational / support group in the city of Philadelphia. And we also run a parent academy, which has mothers, fathers, parents, and caregivers and foster parents. So this is just a topic that is just interesting. Besides that, I have 4 boys, so and my daughter, she's the one I like.
She's the one you like.
She's the one I like, man. That's it.
Well, at least there's one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move over then to Ricky. Ricky, tell us a little bit about you and where you're from, man.
My name is Ricky Taylor. I represent the Making a Change group. I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania, born and bred. I stumbled upon this mentoring program called Team Mac when I was a student back in high school, and I liked it so much that I stuck around for another 10 years. And I now serve as the program coordinator for all of our youth development exercises. We work with over 100 youth in the city of Chester.
Ricky, you're a father, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm the youngest father probably on here, the newest one rather. My daughter is 5, but I've been a father figure for probably about 15 years now.
Race is a very difficult thing to talk about. How do you begin a conversation? I don't know that it was difficult. I don't know that it was ever easy, but today it seems to be harder than ever. How do you start a conversation about race with children? And I understand that children are at different levels, right? Different ages, but how do you begin to get into a conversation about race with children?
We all deal with things at this housing authority as sort of like one big family. There's no subject that we steer clear of. There's no issues. We try to talk to everybody and include everybody, as we're all equals. So that conversations and feelings don't tend to eventually lead to racist ideas and ideologies. I don't think you can do that without having a great sensitivity to what's actually going on. But
I saw Malik say that it all starts someplace, and I'm looking at your shirt, and your shirt says Black Fathers. From a Black father standpoint, watching what's happening right now, and a lot of this having to do with a Black man, this is like the spark, the latest spark.
Yeah, the latest.
The latest spark. Somebody talked with me about current events, and I'm like, no, this ain't a current event. This was a powder keg. It's been this way for a long time, and it's just going to keep popping off like that. as a Black father, how do you, as Malik was saying, set the standard and say, this is what it's going to be in my house? I see what's going on out there, but this is what it's going to be in my house. How do you do that?
So I'm glad you said, Black father, because I consider myself three different people. I'm a man, and he's thinking a whole nother other stuff, but I'm also a husband. He thinks differently. And then as a father, I'm focused elsewhere. I have a lot of boys in my house, and how do you adjust? And I'm nervous because I keep pushing for them not to be brought up angry. So as a leader in all of this, and for them following me, I can't stay angry because I don't want to bring up more anger. I don't want them to come up bitter, and I'm nervous about that. I don't want them to come up hating, and I also don't want them to come up feeling sort of defeated. I mean, I'm a part of 100 Black Men, so we took a lot of boys out to the movies last year, and we went to go see Selma. So, this month we're in Selma. Selma specifically helped change some things because it was the second time they crossed the bridge was televised. Once it was televised, then a lot got changed. So I have a lot of conversation with them about how many great people there are that are on our side. I have a lot of Selma conversations, which is African Americans or LGBT. No one has ever done this by themselves. We've overcome with unity. There's as many rabbis on the front lines as there are pastors, as many imams held together with fathers on the front line. I let them know that love does conquer all, and that forgiveness is not going to change the KKK, but it's going to make you feel a better person. But then I also teach my sons to stand their ground. And I don't mean stand their ground violently. I mean, 2020 has brought about a new normal, which is it's not okay anymore to just accept a defeated personality. So if you make comments about my hair and you think I'm Jamaican, I'm going to let you know, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I don't do this. And we're going to start standing our ground. Like I am equal to everyone. And they're allowed, when people approach them, to explain themselves to people. They don't have to cover their eyes. They don't have to put their head down as they talk. No, they can stand their ground and speak to you eye to eye. The second thing I told them is that when things get too much for them, they need to call an adult. Language for me is different. I do things that they don't do. I pay taxes and I vote. So that gives me much more power than my 18-year-old and 19-year-olds. When I start talking about who I vote for, people start saying yes, sir, or no, sir. I also taught them to walk away. So as a leader, I have to do these things as well. I take them out to vote. We talked about the census. We talked about change. They're looking to see a major, major change. And I'm trying to always keep them focused on the tiny little ones, Butch. Like in Philadelphia, we've been trying to get a statue down for maybe 20 years of Rizzo. It's down now. There has been there's 4 Confederate monuments down South Carolina that are now coming down. Like we've been trying to get these things done. But I was Black when we were trying to get these things done. So change is happening. They're looking for big change. I make sure my sons see all the tiny change that leads up to a big one.